Alright, so I really want to talk about Grayzone Warfare today because their patch 1 is coming out very soon. It's already live on the public test servers for people to play right now on Steam. I want to preface this video in saying that I really enjoy this game. I think Grayzone Warfare is a very special game, and I think it's really groundbreaking and probably honestly going to completely change the genre once it gets a little bit further into development. But patch 1 is kind of concerning for me. I'll go ahead and get it out of the way right now. I played the public tests and nothing seemed different at all. The map looked a little bit different. Those were the only changes that I really noticed, but that's because it seems like the changes that they focused on the most, in my opinion, were some of the ones that I won't say didn't have a drastic effect on people's enjoyment of the game, because they definitely did. The grenade bug where you could kill your teammates in base, that was annoying. Your body disappearing, super annoying, happened to me a couple of times. But there's some very major issues with this game right now that I feel like are not being ignored in patch 1, but are definitely being ignored by the developers when it comes to communicating to the community. Now, not entirely completely ignored. They've obviously posted guides on how to optimize your game a little bit better without giving you the actual fix to optimize your game a little bit better, at least when it comes to 13th and 14th gen i7 and i9s, which I have and which I had a major problem with. And I'll explain that here in a minute, but let's talk about some of the more major problems with Grayzone Warfare right now, and problems that do not seem to be addressed in patch 1. Now, a couple of them obviously take time, but it would be nice to know that they're really solidly working on these implementations, right? So, optimization. Optimization is a huge thing. I was blind and kind of naive. You can go back and watch some of my first Grayzone videos after the game came out. I was saying my game ran great, it felt great, and it did. But what I didn't know is I could cook spaghetti on my processor. And that's no bullshit. My processor was running at 100 degrees Celsius while riding in the helicopter, and around 85 to 95 Celsius when I was actually just playing the game. Now, a lot of processors these days, especially Intel, are made to get hot. I think they post on their website like 110 Celsius. They can get that hot without damaging them. Me, personally, I don't buy that shit. 100 Celsius is not healthy for your processor at all. It's literally cooking your computer. It's frying your computer. And if you're not monitoring that, if someone out there isn't monitoring that, they don't know how to monitor that, they don't know why their room is an extra 5-6 degrees hotter while they're playing Grayzone Warfare, they just don't think about it, it's going to end up destroying someone's computer. And I've had some discussions with people where they say, well, that's not the developer's fault, that's Intel's fault, you know, because of the technology they're using and the, you know, how they designed these processors. I would say I agree, but also that's a crock of shit, because the Scala tech that they are using in Grayzone Warfare is abso-fucking-lutely amplifying the problem with that processor. That makes it a problem on both ends, one that these devs really need to get a hold on. Optimization needs to be the #1 thing listed, in my opinion, at the top of the patch notes for every major patch that comes out until this problem is fixed. It's one of the most major problems in the game. It's actually keeping some people from being able to play the game and making others weary to play the game because of it cooking your CPU. Something's got to be done there. Another major problem is the AI, and a couple of things that go along with the AI. These AI in Tiger Bay and Fort Nerith and Midnight Sapphire and Fort Nerith feel a little bit more accurate, right? They are soldiers, they are trained professionals, they are locked and loaded, ready to go. But I can't imagine every single one of them, you know, was top of their class in marksmanship, nailing people at 150 meters through a bush using iron sights. I just don't feel like that is a realistic thing, you know, that really happens. And that is exactly what's happening in the game. The tracking and precision of the AI, regardless of weapon attachments in the game, is super annoying. I know I don't have fun loading up with a $6 to $7 grand kit and going in to get one tapped by an AI that I didn't see because he was standing behind 2 bushes 100 meters away and doinked me in the face. All I heard was a faint, "Get the fuck out of here," and all of a sudden I drop. That's not very enjoyable. Another thing that goes along with the AIs that I have heard good things of in the public tests, but I think we're going to have to try it on a larger scale before we can actually confirm that this is the case. The key drop rate on this game is super frustrating. So I am level 27 on the live version of the game. I have every trader but two, the last two that you unlock actually, to rank 3. I don't feel like it's necessary to have those two at rank 3 because they don't have the most interesting stuff, in my opinion. Nothing that's really viable in the way that the game plays right now. Nothing that's very enjoyable to use with the way the game is set up, so I'm not too worried about them. But even if I was, I'm gatekeeped behind finding these keys that, I mean, I'm seeing people farm for 20 and 30 hours through hundreds of AI. And it's just not enjoyable. That's not something I'm into. That's why I enjoy the flea market on Tarkov so much, because if I really want a key that bad and I have the money, I can go fucking buy it if I'm level 15. And by the time I need keys like that are really rare, very expensive, I'm gonna have the money to do so. So only allowing 2 keys to drop per AI respawn is really gatekeeping a lot of people out of being able to do their quests. I've run into people who were higher levels than I am, and I'm 27, and they still cannot find the key for the doctor chick in the game to open that military door in Tiger Bay to get the med supplies or whatever the fuck it is. They still can't do it, and they're higher level than me. And I'm 100 quests in. Like, it's super, super annoying. Something needs to be done about that. And I would say that moves us into another thing with some of the more annoying aspects of the game. Kind of moving out of that and just into the design choice and a feature that I feel like the game dropped without that it definitely should have had. Nighttime. There is not a whole lot of dynamics in the way that Grayzone Warfare plays right now. It's daytime all the time. You load into a chopper, you fly to a location, you kill some AI, you hopefully get your quest done, and you fly back. That's about the extent of the game as it stands right now. There's not really what makes Escape from Tarkov so special. To go ahead and draw this comparison real quick, because everybody loves drawing comparisons. Escape from Tarkov is so special in my mind because it nailed down 3 gameplay loops in a very special way: PvP, questing, and making money. Grayzone has 2 of those. It has PvP and questing, but making money on this game is not fun because of the way you have to do it. If you want to make money in this game outside of questing, you have to go somewhere like Fort Nerith, the Sawmill, Midnight Sapphire, not even Tiger Bay, and I would argue it's the hardest area, and kill AI and collect their optics, and that is how you make money in this game. There's no dynamics to the gameplay outside of doing quests and PvPing, and there's no dynamics even in the aspect of the moment-to-moment gameplay with how the world looks and feels. It's always static. It's always the same. I feel like if they would really expedite their process, their work on the nighttime, I feel like it would add a whole nother aspect to the gameplay that would add even more replayability for someone even like me who has around 70 hours in the game and feels like I've seen all I can see so far. I've seen all I can have seen so far. I feel like adding nighttime and the accessories that go along with excelling or being competent in the nighttime, like night vision goggles, flashlights, lasers, etc., I feel like that would add not an entire different gameplay loop, but enough replayability to the game that it would bring people who are already feeling a little bit burnt out back into the fold for at least another 10 or 15 hours, maybe 20 hours. Because I think if you played Armor Reforger, you know what I'm talking about, especially the modern day mod. It is an entirely different feeling doing a daytime raid, whether you're landing in a hot zone or not, doing a daytime raid in an Armor Reforger modern day server compared to a nighttime raid, lasers on, MVGs down, in Armor Reforger modern day mod. Like, it's an entirely different feeling, and I think that's a feeling that we need in this game, and that's a feeling that's coming. I just don't know when. I don't know if that's one that should wait 6 months until a wipe. I don't think that's big enough to justify that, and would have to come with a bunch of other big things. I just don't feel like we have a ton of dynamics in the way the game is right now. Now, don't get me wrong, this is one of the best alphas I've ever played, like, if not the best, and that's why I'm a little bit more critical on it. I know it sounds unfair, but I'm a little bit more critical on it because of how good it is. I see what it needs to do to be not perfect, but damn near perfect. I can see what they need to implement at an expedited rate, and of course not everybody's going to agree with me. Not everybody wants to play the game that I want to play. These are just features that are already planned, and I just feel like the date in which they happen kind of needs to be changed around. That's just my opinion. But I feel like nighttime is definitely one of those that needs to be sooner than later. But obviously, like I said, at the top of my list is optimization. Optimization is a huge thing. So patch 1 is a little bit concerning for me because all they really addressed, their main big Twitter post, was the grenade base bug, VoIP in-game, and like 200 other features that they're not announcing right now. I feel like they should be talking a little bit more about what they're doing with patch 1, like getting patch notes out like ASAP, and also maybe addressing what's not going to be in patch 1 and why it's not going to be in patch 1. Because that community briefing video they released, it didn't really mesh too well with me. I would say that, because of basically it was just, well, you know, here's how to counter the problem you're having, and it was just, you know, group up with people and there will be helicopters you can call in. Go to more major POIs and, you know, there's going to be people there, and thus you can catch a ride back. And use these ammos, even though we obviously know there's an ammo problem in the game and a problem with hitboxes and how the AI can survive so many shots. I didn't dig it too much, but that's just me. So I don't know, man, it's a little concerning. We'll see what happens. I could be completely wrong and this patch could come out and I could look like a jackass, because they could have implemented a lot of these changes that I'm talking about and a lot of these fixes and just didn't advertise it for some reason. I don't know. But nonetheless, as of right now, as of this video's release, it's a little concerning in my opinion. But I want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. Please let me know. How are you feeling about patch 1? Are you concerned? Is it looking good? Am I crazy? Like, let me know in the comments. Anyways, that's going to do it for me, dudes. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Toon. I've been your host, and I will see you dudes next time. Peace out.